Alright guys, let's jump into these. I've only got 2 stories today. Like, to be honest, the news is kind of boring. And I have to get to work early because apparently, yeah, it's a thing. Don't worry, it's okay. Once I get through today, I'll be back on normal schedule, hopefully. But let's jump into it, because Trump, reportedly, depending on who you believe, have or may have not suggested nuking hurricanes to stop them from hitting the US. Do I think Trump suggested this? Probably. I think he would have said it. He might have been joking. He might have been, trolling a little bit when he said it. And he's also not the first president to actually think about this idea. And in fact, the left is jumping on this, calling it a crazy idea. Well, it's actually not that crazy. But let's jump into it. So Trump suggests nuking hurricanes to stop them from hitting the US. President Trump suggested multiple times to senior House, Homeland Security and National Security officers that they explore using nuclear bombs to stop hurricanes from hitting the United States, according to a source who have heard the president's private remarks and been briefed on a National Security Council memorandum that records those comments. Great. Have you got a name? No. Okay. So that makes me a little bit conspicuous in the first place. Also, Trump has came out and said that this story is bogus. So take it with a grain of salt. But I'll tell you my thoughts after. But let's keep going. Behind the scenes, during one of the hurricane briefings at the White House, Trump says, I got it. Why don't we nuke them? According to one source who was there. And they start forming off the coast of Africa. They start moving across the Atlantic. We drop bomb inside the eye of the hurricane and disperse it. Why can't we do that? The source added, paraphrasing the president's remarks. Asked how the briefer reacted, the source recalled saying something to the effect of, "Sir, we'll look into that." Trump replied, asking incredibly how many hurricanes the US could handle, and reiterated his suggestion the government intervene before they make landfall. Okay. Do I think Trump suggested this? Probably. It's probably a good chance. Is it a batshit crazy idea? Actually, no. And I'll get to my theory in a sec. So, here we are. Nuclear weapons and hurricanes don't mix, NOAA advises. Now, I want to have a look at a specific point that they're saying here. Right? So, the Axios website, which I just read, said Trump has suggested several national security officers about the possibility the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, said the results would be devastating. Okay? So, why? What would the effect of the nuking the hurricane have? The NOAA says that using nuclear weapons on a hurricane might not even alter the storm. Okay, in that case, it's no harm, no foul. And the radioactive fallout would be far quickly moving with the trade winds and affect land areas. And this is what everybody's jumping on. Everybody's jumping on the idea that you're going to use radioactive material to nuke these clouds. Okay? Trump didn't say anything about radioactive. He just said, can we nuke them? Now, what do I think he means? I think Trump is actually talking about a small explosive that is non-radioactive that will go through and disperse the clouds, stopping the hurricane from forming. Okay, so the way hurricanes work, my understanding, is that they're a circular motion of winds. Hot, cold winds all mixing together forms the hurricane, the funnel, blah, 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 right? What Trump is talking about is dropping a bomb of some sort. He said nuclear. That's probably just Trump being very, very non-specific with what he says. But what I think he means is that he drops the bomb, it explodes, it disrupts that circular motion, disrupts the hot-cold mixing of the air, and basically stops the hurricane forming in its tracks. Is it possible to do that? I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I'd love to talk to one. But it sounds like it might actually have some merit. And if you actually go down here, it says, how long has this idea been around? The idea of bombing a hurricane has been around since the 1950s, when the suggestion was originally made by the government scientists, right? So even government scientists in the 1950s have suggested this. Now, obviously, yes, things have changed. You know, obviously, at the end of the day, people know more now than they did, so it might no longer hold water. But Trump was just simply talking about exploring the idea. During a speech to the National Press Cabinet in 1961, Francis Rutherford, head of the US Weather Bureau, sounds like you might know his stuff, said he could imagine the possibility of someday exploding a nuclear bomb on a hurricane far at sea. The Weather Bureau would only begin acquiring nuclear weapons when we know what we are doing, he added, according to the National Geographic. The NOAA says that the idea is often suggested during hurricane season. George Washington University professor Sharon Sensory, I might be getting that name wrong, says the idea stems from the Ploughshares program of the 1950s, where the laundry list of different, weird, fantastical, slightly crazy uses for nuclear weapons was devised by government researchers. Now, I believe it was, I want to say Ronald Reagan, maybe? I know one of the previous presidents, so guys let me know in the comments, I think it was Ronald Reagan, that actually suggested this in the past. So Trump is simply just paraphrasing something that a previous president has already suggested, and the left have obviously got Trump derangement syndrome, so they're jumping on it. Like I say, this is not an original Trump idea. This is something that previous presidents have suggested, and according to this article, even head of the Weather Bureau system has also said it has some merit. You would think he would know his stuff. Now, obviously they say here, as dangers of radiation become more unclear, no one's saying we have to use radioactive material. Okay? A nuclear bomb isn't just radioactive. You can also get non-radioactive bombs, for example. Back in the 50s, it was all the option they had, but now we can make nuclear bombs that have no radioactivity. So no one's saying about blasting a bomb that's going to leave the landfall and whatnot decimated for 10,000 years because of radioactivity. No, we're just simply talking about using the shockwave or the explosion to dissipate the actual weather, the actual tornado, the hurricane. We call them cyclones here. So at the end of the day, it does actually have some merit. Now, several other outlandish ideas have been floated over recent years, including one Facebook event called for the US gun owners to shoot down hurricanes. I remember that, it was quite funny. But look, at the end of the day, yeah, like I say, it's not an original Trump idea. So anybody that's sitting there thinking, oh, this is stupid Trump, okay, well, previous presidents have also suggested it, and including head of the Weather Bureau system. So, yeah. Other very smart people have also suggested the same thing before you go jumping on your TDS. Now, obviously, Hillary Clinton mocks the president over fake news. We should not nuke hurricanes. And she said we should not nuke hurricanes. And Donald Trump has said the story by Axios that President Trump wants to blow up a large hurricane with nuclear weapons prior to reaching shores is ridiculous. I never said this, just more fake news. So like I said, we don't even know if Trump has said it. Also, if he did say it, which I'm probably guessing he probably did, then at the end of the day, no one's talking about using radioactive material. They're just talking about using the blast to dissipate or to disperse the storm. And I think if you're not using radioactivity, that actually might have some merit. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think that Trump actually has suggested this? Do you think Trump is just calling it fake news because he's copping some flack in the media? Or do you think it's actually fake news? Do you think Trump wouldn't actually say this? Personally, I think he probably would. Even if it was just him trolling, I think he probably would say it. And I don't know if it's such a crazy idea. Hey, look, you know, like I said, Eisenhower, I believe it was Eisenhower, actually suggested this in the past. So he's not the first US president to come up with this crazy idea, and other people have said that it may work. So all he was asking was, let's look into it. So yeah, it's kind of funny though. America has a reputation for wanting to blow everything up, and now apparently they want to blow up hurricanes, reportedly. Hey, who knows? You know, batshit crazy ideas, sometimes they pay off. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section regarding Trump blowing up hurricanes. You think it'll work, not work? You think he said it, didn't say it? Let me know. We'll have a discussion in the comments. Apart from that, guys, there'll be another video for the day. We're going to talk about the Amazon fires because apparently there might be some fake news about that too. So stay tuned for that video. And apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.